Daniel. Faith in the Fire Act. Taken to Babylon. The year was 605 BC. The once proud city of Jerusalem trembled as the armies of Babylon surrounded its walls. King Jehoiakim of Judah looked from his palace toward the horizon, where the banners of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, waved in the desert wind. The sounds of war, shouts, iron clashing, the thunder of chariots, echoed across the hills of Zion. The judgment spoken by the prophets had come. Amid the chaos, a young man named Daniel walked the narrow streets of Jerusalem. He was from the royal family of Judah, well-educated, handsome, and intelligent. He had grown up in the holy city, where the temple of God stood in majesty. Yet now he saw smoke rising from homes, fear in the eyes of mothers, and the confusion of people who realized their nation had fallen under God's judgment. When Nebuchadnezzar's forces finally breached the defenses, Jerusalem was subdued. Treasures from the temple of the Lord were carried away, placed among the idols of Babylon. And among the captives chosen for exile were young men, noble, strong, and wise. Daniel was among them, along with his 3 companions, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. As chains bound their hands, the young men looked back one last time at the city of their fathers. The Temple Mount glimmered in the sun, and the thought of leaving the house of God tore at their hearts. They did not yet know the trials that awaited them, but they carried one conviction: their God was still with them. The journey to Babylon was long and grueling. Across deserts and rivers they marched, surrounded by soldiers. Many captives despaired, but Daniel's heart burned with prayer. Each night under the stars, he whispered the words of the Psalms, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil." Finally, the towering walls of Babylon came into view. The exiles stared in awe at the grandeur of the city. Massive gates of bronze, walls so wide chariots could ride upon them, and the great river Euphrates flowing through. Statues of strange gods lined the streets, and the ziggurat, the great temple tower, rose like a mountain of bricks into the sky. In this foreign land, the captives were brought to the court of Nebuchadnezzar. The king commanded that select young men be trained for 3 years in the language, literature, and wisdom of the Babylonians. These would serve in the royal palace. Daniel and his 3 friends were chosen. The chief official, Ashpenaz, looked them over. As part of their training, they were assigned daily portions of rich food and wine from the king's table. To many, this was a privilege beyond imagining. But for Daniel, it was a test of loyalty. The meat had likely been offered to idols, and eating it would defile him before the Lord. Daniel's heart resolved in that moment. He would not defile himself. Gathering courage, he approached Ashpenaz and spoke with humility. "Please, test your servants for 10 days. Give us nothing but vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then compare our appearance with the young men who eat the royal food, and deal with your servants according to what you see." Ashpenaz hesitated. To displease the king could cost him his life. But God had granted Daniel favor and compassion in the eyes of the official. Reluctantly, the test was allowed. For 10 days, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah ate only what was clean before God. Each day they prayed for strength, asking the Lord to honor their faithfulness. And when the 10 days ended, they appeared healthier and stronger than all the others who had feasted on the king's delicacies. Ashpenaz was astonished. From that day forward, he allowed them to continue their simple diet. The years passed, and the 4 young men excelled in knowledge and wisdom. God gave Daniel special understanding in visions and dreams. When the time of training ended, Nebuchadnezzar himself examined them. No one was found equal to Daniel and his friends. In every matter of wisdom, the king found them 10 times better than all the magicians and enchanters in his realm. So Daniel entered the service of the king of Babylon. Though far from Jerusalem, though surrounded by idols and pagan customs, Daniel stood firm in his faith. In the courts of men, he remained a servant of the Most High God. And thus began the extraordinary journey of Daniel, a journey of courage, wisdom, and faith that would span the reigns of kings, the fall of empires, and visions reaching to the end of time.